Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I don't want to use that.
People like that too. They can associate with that. At the 6 o'clock segment, I want to just say a couple of words about One Truth and then just play a background song and just go in from there. I don't
Okay.
want to play too much, not yet. What I like to do maybe in a couple of weeks is read a pre pre-typed up advertisement for them and then just leave it at that. Maybe with a song in the background.
Okay.
Today I'm just going to do something real quick because I'm not prepared.
I should just do a pre-recorded one altogether. We can just record it like maybe before we leave for tonight. Just kind of, or maybe next time, however you want to do it. I mean, just pre-record it. We just record it into here. I'll go ahead and do the little edits,
Yeah.
and we'll just have a spot instead of worrying about having to do it live, unless that's what they want.
No. I prefer doing it the way you say.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I should have did? I shouldn't have played those. I should have played this. Right, we got 2 more minutes.
They got what kind of break are we in?
What time would the break be?
Into 15 minutes, 10 minutes?
We'll probably split it. Whatever time is left, I'll chop it in half. So we'll be back. We'll start about 35, maybe 36, and do 10 minutes or so. Hey.
That's Dino. That's
Hey, how you doing? Oh no.
Hi there.
I'm Julian. Nice to meet you, sir.
Hi, Colleen.
Hi, Colleen. Nice to meet you. I'm Julian.
Nice to meet you, Lance.
Lance. Nice to meet you, sir. I'm Julian.
okay. You can sit right there, Dino.
Okay.
And we have one chair.
I can just sit here. Oh.
You can sit. Well.
Yeah, no, I don't want to wreck you.
No, you're good.
I thought that was a stool there or something.
There's one
Yeah,
here,
that'll
but
work.
I'm going to use this one.
Where's Alice?
You can use this one for now.
Alice?
Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah, her nephew passed, so she's not gonna be able to make it tonight.
What's that?
Her nephew passed away.
That one's
Her
for
nephew.
you unless you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, for now.
Which
because,
one was
we have a
Eric?
lady
Her
coming.
nephew Eric passed.
She's
Yeah.
Alice is not gonna.
Her,
No.
she got a call this morning saying her nephew passed away.
He died in his sleep. Eric? That name Eric?
Wow.
What was it? I don't know. Probably. Couldn't it be probably early 30s maybe?
Okay, we're on YouTube with this camera here, so you won't see it, but she has it there. This is a directional mic for the YouTube. We had it yesterday, but you couldn't see it. It didn't reach on the table.
We're gonna get into the sports talk. I don't know. You want to have them join us for
Sure, if
sports?
they
You want
if
to
you
jump
guys
in?
want to join in, if you know anything we're talking about.
All right. Stand by, George. We're gonna
This
go ahead and
microphone is
get
live.
started.
You can use these earphones.
471-5173.
It's a little different than the Saturday.
All right, George. You ready?
Yeah.
You can hear
So
everything.
it's more like, yeah.
Ready, George?
Ready to- well, he's
Which
gonna speak
mic
first.
are you on?
He's gonna speak first.
Oh yeah, go.
We'll probably just wait till the 6 o'clock to do it. We'll just chop it up with the sports real quick.
Yeah, we're just gonna do half an hour.
All right, George.
Welcome to the Chips and Salsa sports segment, and this is Jorge El Alacran, and we were just talking to everybody on Friday at our other show on KFNX, the Chips and Salsa show. With us today we have Julian behind the boards and the owner of Radio City, Central City Radio. Say hi.
Yeah, Central City Radio.
And we got Sonia over there behind the camera, and we have three guests actually. We have Dino. He was from our show yesterday, our financial wizard, and who's Lance Whitford with Vets to Work. Oh, you're Lance. Oh, my name is George. Our other guest today is Lance Whitford. He's going to be on the show, the 6 o'clock show. And Dino also will be on the 6 o'clock show. And they will chime in here while we do the sports real quick. Okay. I just want to go over a few stats on our college football the Pac-12, the North Conference. Stanford went up ahead 5-0. They were 4-0, so now they've moved up a little bit. And Washington State is still in second with 3-1, 3 games won, 1 game lost. California and Oregon kind of switched places. Oregon went up 3-2. California fell down to fourth, 2-2. Washington still at number 5, 1-3, and Oregon State is at 0-4.
Did you see that game Thursday night, ASU Oregon?
How was that?
I think they went to like triple overtime or something like that. It was
I
like
heard something
55
about
to
it.
41 or something crazy like that. Did you see that?
No, but I heard something about it. That's not the one where they threw the football right at the end?
Yeah, I think it was. I think so. I didn't see it. I just was reading about it. I was like, oh my goodness.
Wow. In your South Conference, Utah is at 3-1. The South Conference isn't doing good as the North Conference. The North Conference with Stanford at 5-0. What do you think about Stanford with that 5-0? They're undefeated. I mean, it's still early in the. Well, no, it's not early because it's nearing the time.
Yeah, about halfway there. So,
5-0.
championship games coming up. That's always going to be we'll find out what they're really all about.
Yeah, because UCLA is at 2-2. They're in second, and then Arizona went down. USC went up to third place with 2-2, and Arizona went down to fourth place at 2-3, and ASU is down at 2-3, 2 wins, 3 losses, and last place is Colorado 1-3. So it's going to be interesting to see if ASU and Arizona could just move up. UCLA and USC are always on top, so I don't know. It's just going to be interesting to see. They played 4 games to Washington's 4. Washington's 1-3, so I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see who makes it in the Pac-12.
Well, so far, today's action, first my Hawkeyes handled business today over Maryland and top 25, so they're going to obviously secure their at least 10th ranked position, hopefully, if not go up. Let's see here. Who else? Michigan. Michigan is still struggling. They're only up by 1 against over Minnesota. It's fourth quarter right now, or no, second quarter right now. So Michigan's still kind of reeling from that last minute crazy loss the other week with that fumbled punt situation.
NFL?
No, we're still talking about college. Today's Saturday, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't. Well, okay, I don't have those stats.
No, I just put it up on my phone.
Okay.
I didn't mean to throw you off. I just
No.
figured we'd jump into the top 25 right quick, see what's good.
Oh, that's good.
Oh my gosh, Oklahoma State 70, Texas Tech 53. Talking about some high scoring games. Big time stuff. So what else you got over there, George?
Okay, then that's college football. So let's go to NFL. NFL, the American Conference. We got New England. We got Patriots 7-0. This is sickening. New York Jets 4-2. Buffalo 3-4. Miami is 3-4. In the South, it's Indianapolis with 3-4. All the other ones 3-4, 2-5, 1-5. In the North is Cincinnati. Oh, that's another one. Is it Bengals? Cincinnati Bengals 6-0. Dumb Bengals. Pittsburgh 4-3. Cleveland 2-5. Then we go down to the West. Denver 6-0. Those teams just hurt me. The National Conference, I guess that's what we're in, where Arizona's in. They look pretty good. Carolina 6-0. Green Bay 6-0.
Yes.
I hate Green Bay. Arizona's 5-2 in our West, and Seattle and St. Louis have been switching places. They're 3-4 and 3-3. San Francisco's 2-5. That's just where they belong. We just had to keep. I think we have a game tomorrow against.
Yeah, we got the Browns, but actually the game of the day tomorrow will be the Sunday night game Isn't it the first time two 6-0 teams facing off? I think it is. The first time two 6-0 teams are facing off. So Green Bay, Denver, in Denver. That's going to be the game of the day. I love my Cardinals, but that one's a big one.
Denver and who?
Broncos, Denver and Green Bay.
They're both 6-0.
They're both 6-0.
Oh.
Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers facing off. That's
gonna be
that's must see TV right there.
Yep. And the Dallas Cowboys. I wanted to talk about a little about that. They're going through a lot of little drama in their team.
Yeah, what was the fallout of that special teams guy that was having this little hissy fit with the assistant coach or the special teams coach?
I think he knocked the board off. He swung.
Oh, yeah, it was on camera.
Yeah, I read about it today. It was like he knocked it, and then it's under review right now. And
even Des Bryant had us calm him down, of all people.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. And then I guess there's one person there that's she got in trouble because of his wife. He had a dispute with his wife, and they were driving or something. I don't know if he pulled out a gun or.
Dang. Who did that?
A couple of players on the Dallas Cowboys are really facing disciplinary actions.
America's team.
Football.
I used to be a Cowboys fan growing up in Iowa because I was a free agent. I cheered for whoever I wanted to. But when I moved here, I just Plus, I was a Cowboys fan as a result of my uncle, so I didn't really choose. So when I became my own man and was able to critically think for myself, I chose the Cardinals.
Well, let me see. I liked the Rams and I hated the Rams. Then, because weren't they in LA Rams, and then they sold the team. Then they went to St. Louis, the St. Louis Rams. Then my sister was a 49er fan because they lived near, 49 Oakland? Was it 49ers in Oakland? San Francisco 49ers.
San Francisco?
San Francisco. Because LA had the Rams and they got rid of the Rams, and then San Francisco is a team that actually represents California now, I guess.
Well, it's still the Chargers. Yeah, so, at least Southern California.
Right,
yeah.
San Diego
Chargers. And then,
but the closest ones would be the San Francisco 49ers. So I started liking them for a little while. Then I moved out here, and I was still liking. I switched over to the Dallas Cowboys because I like the cheerleaders.
Is that why? For real?
Mainly it's because of the cheerleaders. And then
can't be mad at you for that.
Then the Dallas Cowboys kind of got a little persona, So I liked them for a little while until I started getting into sports out here, and then I kind of followed the Arizona Cardinals, and I've been the Cardinals ever since.
Die hard.
When we come back, we have to go into a break. When we come back, we'll talk about former Suns point guard Steve Nash was inducted into the Ring of Honor yesterday. So we'll talk a little bit about that and how the NBA, how the Suns won their game yesterday, and they're doing so far 2 games, 1-1. So this is okay. So we'll be right back with the Chips and Salsa Sports section. Okay.
Sorry about that. I thought I had it.
I didn't know who you were. I thought you were with Jim. So I thought you were yes. You're going to be sitting in this chair. Okay. Luke, when she comes in, will be sitting in this chair. You'll be sitting in that chair. I'll be sitting in the booth. She'll be sitting there. See, I thought we had an extra guest. It's like I only have one extra chair that I have
You
brought.
didn't hear me say they were both here?
No, well, I thought I didn't know he was.
Don't say anything.
I'm just here.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all want to jump in on your sports talk?
I don't have any knowledge at the moment. I've been so busy doing the program I'm working on, and I've probably seen 10 minutes of sports in the last 4 or 5 weeks.
I'm kind of the same thing. I try to keep as much as I can, but
Okay.
I know the World Series is happening. I kind of know where we're at with
I
it,
think
but I
it's 2
don't
games to
know.
1. Is that
Yes,
correct?
I think
Kansas
it's
City
2-1.
2-1.
In
Yeah.
fact, we're going to the World Series real quick.
You want to run
When
it?
we come
Jump
back,
into that?
we'll talk a little bit about that, and then we'll go into the ring of thing. I have a little article to read, another article to read about the game yesterday, and then the standings for the NBA. And then by that time, we should be out of time and ready for the regular program.
Yep.
The only thing I have to say is go Packers.
Go back. Oh, you like
It should be a
We're up in
good game.
Wisconsin.
We'll be watching that.
Ah.
They're playing in Denver. Is that-
Yeah.
So it'll be on regular.
It'll be on regular.
Well, it's
Yeah.
Sunday Night Football.
Sunday night game.
Yeah, TV.
Yeah, huge game.
When we go to our regular programming, that mic's going to turn over here. This one's going to
Yep,
be for,
I will be on with y'all. 15 seconds, George.
and then this will be for the person here. And then he helps out because I'm solo here in sports. Augie is the one who just kind of helps me out. But he's not here.
All right, George, you ready?
Yes. Welcome back to the Chips and Salsa sports section. This is Jorge, and we have Julian at the board doing extra commentary, and my other special guests here, Dino and Lance, they're going to be joining in here pretty soon. And we have, I believe, Luke's coming in a little later. One thing we were going to mention was on this. Well, first of all, I want to mention I don't have my co-host here, Alice Lada. She's had a tragedy in her family. Somebody passed away, and so she won't be here today. And we all kind of give her our condolences for her nephew who passed away. So that was Alice Lada, our co-host, and she'll be back hopefully next week. We'll see. Right now, we're all praying for her family and just letting everybody know. Okay, we're going to talk about the World Series. What is going on with the Royals? They came out of gangbusters and they won the first 2 games, and then all of a sudden, the New York Mets woke up.
It was on the road, so they were at home for the first 2 games. So now they're in New York. Right now, game 4 right now is no score, middle of the 3rd right now. But yeah, man, it's tough when you're out on the road, especially World Series game.
I was reading some stuff about the New York Mets. They had some little controversy a couple years back and stuff with the owner and a lot of little stuff going on. But I'm glad to hear that they won 1 game. And where are they going to play today? In New York?
Yeah, they're in New York
okay, so they may
at
have a chance.
their stadium.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm a Midwest boy, so pulling from the Royals.
The Royals, huh?
Yes.
I'm a spoiler, so I picked the New York Mets. Go Mets. Okay, I wanted to say Steve Nash. Everybody remembers Steve Nash. He's the former Suns point guard. He was added to the team's Ring of Honor, the 14th Sun Ring of Honor member, and 2-time NBA MVP. He was also presented with a $100,000 check for the Steve Nash Foundation to contribute to Educare Arizona early childhood facility. An Arizona early childhood facility the Nash's Foundation helped build in East Phoenix 5 years ago. He was honored at the Educare Arizona on Friday morning, where Phoenix Mayor Greg Stanton and Arizona Governor Doug Ducey sent proclamations to declare Friday Steve Nash Day. So I just wanted to shout out for Steve Nash. He's a great player. I always liked him when he was here. I still like him. He's a good player, and he plays with his heart. And
Those teams should have won NBA final championship.
Yeah.
That was probably the best ever Phoenix Suns teams in those mid 2000s. I think that was ever put together. That they should have gotten at least 1 championship.
I loved Steve Nash. I loved how he played. I loved his whole persona.
Gang Spurs.
He would take a bloody nose and keep playing,
He just knew how to handle the rock and dish it out. He knew what he was doing.
And they were all there yesterday. Charles Barkley was there. Suns past coach Micah
D'Antoni
was there by his side. Nash spent 10 NBA seasons with us, so it's like he deserved to be on the Ring of Honor, even though he did play with the Lakers. Anyway, the NBA guards, and this game that took place afterwards with NBA guards Bledsoe and Knight led the Suns to win Friday. Eric Bledsoe scored 22 points, and teammate Brandon Knight added another 18 points, and the Phoenix Suns pulled away in the second half to roll past the Portland Trailblazers 110 to 92. Tyson Chandler set the tone after Phoenix lackluster loss against Dallas Mavericks on last Wednesday, 111 to 95. This time they scored 10 points in the first half quarter, and then Tyson also finished with 15 points and 13 rebounds, and then T.J. Warren added another 17 points for Phoenix. So they played a good game. So now they're 1-1, and they're starting to use the rest of their team. Hopefully, the Suns will give us a good season this year. The Diamondbacks hopefully will give us a good season. Maybe our Coyotes. I don't know about them. They I think there were 5 wins and 6 losses or something like that. So
Yeah.
It's still early for those teams.
A little quick sports game update. The Mets just went up 1 run over the Royals.
That's what I'm talking about.
Still middle. They're at the bottom of the third. So Mets are on the board.
They're on the board. So 1-0.
1-0.
1-0. 1-0.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. That's a good thing. Okay, I want to give you the stats for the NBA. Toronto's up on top on the Atlantic Division, 2-0. Boston's 1-1. New York is 1-1, and Brooklyn's 0-2. Never hard to hear about Brooklyn and Philadelphia. They're both 0-2. Southeast Division, Washington's 2-0. Atlanta's 2-1. Miami's 1-1. Orlando's 0-2, and Charlotte's 0-2. Still early for the NBA, so these are just.
Oh, isn't that preseason?
Yeah. Well, that's the beginning. They've already.
They started the season already? Did they?
Yeah, that was our first game
What?
Wednesday. Wow. Yeah, the Western Conference is what I'm. Well, we're in the Pacific Division, but the Western Conference we're in. Dallas is 1-1. Memphis 1-1. San Antonio's 1-1. Houston's 0-2. New Orleans is 0-2. Minnesota's 2-0. Oklahoma City is 2-0. Portland is 1-0. Utah's 1-1. Denver's 1-1. And then our division, LA Clippers. I don't know how they're up there, but they're 2-0. Golden State's 2-0. Sacramento's 1-1, and we're 1-1. And the Lakers are where they belong, 0-2. I don't know about the Lakers. Is Kobe Bryant still playing with them?
Oh yeah.
What's happened to Kobe Bryant? He used to carry that team. And
Well, it's called age. It's called father time. That's what happened to him.
he was supposed to be the next Michael Jordan.
Well,
Michael Jordan never gave up his age. I mean, he was continued, and he made the Chicago Bulls. I mean, how many times did they dominate?
Well, I don't have the exact stats. I forget how many titles he won, but I think Kobe's up to 5. Jordan had 6-0. So, I grew up in the Jordan 8 era, so no one's above him. But as far as Kobe, Kobe got 5. I mean, he's lost a few, but Kobe's up there. I think that a couple of years ago, they were talking about him tying Jordan, and that being his best chance to tie Jordan in NBA titles. He might not get there now.
Well, maybe he'll come to the Suns and we'll get our championship, and he'll get that ring that he wants so bad.
Well, if he would just make his move on over, but I doubt that's going to happen.
Well, we got Shaq for a little while, and we lost him.
Oh gosh, what a colossal waste of time that was.
I saw the stars. I said, we have Nash. We got
Yeah, that's the thing. Shaq was like,
O'Neal.
people tell me I tend to win championships, and I was like, okay, let's get it then. And that's what the dude fell flat on his face.
Did we have Sotomayor too at the time? Or we had just lost Sotomayor?
I think that might have been a trade for Stoudemire, probably. Probably sent him off and brought Shaq in, probably. I don't remember exactly.
You remember Stoudemire?
Mari Stoudemire.
And when O'Neill came on board, I was like, hey, we got a good team.
I forget who we had around Shaquille at that point in time. I completely
Well, I
forgot
know
about that team.
we had Nash, but
Was Nash on board? He was.
I'm pretty sure he was because it's just for some reason it wasn't the same. I always wanted Rodman to come on our team. Yeah, Rodman was the best in defense. I mean, he would take that ball and he could act all the shenanigans he did, but he was a good player.
Well, he would have definitely, because he definitely helped those Bulls for the last three championships. Yeah, he definitely.
When he got the ball, he would just go up, grab that ball, and nobody could take it away from him.
Yeah, he was a beast, man.
And he had his problems, but he was a good player. I liked him, but he had his problems. Anyway, that's the last of our sports segment here, and of course we've started this the last few weeks, and it's going to get better as time goes by, and the more we start picking up on the NBA season, and we'll keep you updated on the baseball, the World Series. Tune in, and this is the fourth game, right? So
Game 4.
Fifth game. So we're wrapping it up, and tune in to the Chips and Salsa show at 6 o'clock with our guests, Lance Whitford and Dino Eliadas. And it's going to be a great show, and we should have Loops here, and it's going to be a great show. So tune in, and we'll all see you later. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Loops is in the building.
This will be your seat. Loops. Okay.
Hi, I'm Lance.
This is Lance
Whitford.
They offer plans from over 120 different companies and can even help you obtain government subsidies. Let them do all the research for you and show you how affordable health insurance can be. The service is no cost to you. Call now and learn your options to find affordable health insurance.
I'm sorry.
800-398-0651.
You're going to be sitting right
Well, yeah, get that bench there and go for a chair.
800-398-0651. Health Records Insurance Agency is DBA or soon to do insurance charge.
Yeah. Turn that. Well, that microphone goes to you. That one
To
goes
do
to
with your old
This
car.
one goes
You can
to
try selling it. You could junk it. Or you can donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible.
You're in trouble.
Just call
Oh, you know that. I'm trouble. I'm nothing but trouble anyway.
Then
She's all good, right?
and boats. It doesn't matter if your
So you can do the
vehicle runs or
Saturday
not.
show.
You'll be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need
Okay.
help.
I've got my
Heritage for
horns.
the Blind is a non-profit
Alright.
organization that
Halloween.
helps the visually impaired live fuller lives.
Okay.
Call right now to donate
Mine or
your
yours
car.
or
And as a special thank you
do we
for
have
calling,
another
you'll
set?
receive
Okay,
a
we have
free
another.
3-day vacation voucher to many
sure.
exciting locations.
Are those your
Heritage
glasses?
for the Blind right now.
Oh,
Call
Lance, are those your glasses?
1-800-639-8620. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is
Just from the
totally
dollar
for
store.
free.
They're fine.
Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now.
I lose them too often, break them too often.
1-800-639-8620.
All right, we at the top of the hour. Stand by. 20 seconds.
I'll bring it in.
From the Central City Radio Studio, What up, it's Jay-Z.
Hey, this is Leanna.
It's your boy, Studio Double G. The new 595.
Opener in 5 seconds.
Rhythm and throwbacks. And on Central City Radio at the new 595.
The only show about Latinos for Latinos. Did we mention Latinos?
I don't think so.
Latinos have it all flavors.
I'll find some.
You don't have to be Latino to enjoy chips and salsa.
Who's got it? You got it?
Welcome back to the Chips and Salsa show. This is George El Alacan, and we have with us our co-host, Loops.
hola, hola. ¿Cómo estamos? How's it going, everyone?
Happy Halloween. And we have two guests here, Dino
Eliadas.
Eliadas. I will remember that. Eliadas. And we have Lance Whitford, our guest here. With us on the show, we have Julian.
Forget my name.
Julian Allison. He's on the board. He's our board op and the owner of CentralCityRadio.com. And also with us, we have Sonia. and we don't have our co-host today, Alice Lara. She had a kind of a death in the family, her nephew, and we all are kind of praying for her and her family, and she hopefully will be back with us next week, and we will enjoy her company then. I also want to mention a little housekeeping. David Beasley is our gentleman behind the music, and Monica Lotta is responsible for the logos that we have. Of course, we have Divine Dion. Well, another thing, she's not here today, but she got bit by a scorpion today.
I know.
On the way to work. But she's a trooper. She just went straight to work. I told her she's never missed a day of work. And it's like,
She wants to
you
be
got bit by
right,
a
up,
scorpion.
right up your alley there.
I know. I mean, I got bit, and I was like in excruciating pain. I wasn't doing it. I had an ice pack, and I was drinking a lot of alcohol to kind of deaden the pain. Didn't really help, but it felt good. But it's just I mean, they told me to man up. I wanted to go to the doctors. Everybody was telling me go to the emergency, and they talked me into staying home. And the next day, I was numb from my neck up, and I mean, she got bit on her toe, so I would imagine it goes up your leg or something. I don't know. But we went and saw her before we came here at work, and she said, "No, I'm doing fine. It's just a sore toe." I thought the worst.
Well, little by little, let's just keep an eye on her.
And today's Halloween, right?
Absolutely. No, to Halloween, yes. Mañana el Día de los Muertos.
Dia de los Muertos. I was gonna talk a little bit about that. What you think about Dia de los Muertos?
Well, it's in a tradition, more than anything, it's a Mexican Latino tradition, and where we honor the dead. We talked about that last week, and tomorrow it's it. And most churches, our local churches, have fiestas and events of that nature, and there's a theory between the decorative sugar candy skulls and things of that nature. So everybody looks pretty interesting. However, marketing is great for marketing, right? Right? Don't you agree?
I agree.
We have today and tomorrow from 10 in the morning to 5 p.m. at Desert Botanical Gardens, Dia de los Muertos. They celebrating people who have passed, and they're going to have mariachis, face painting, dancers, and I guess they're going to have a procession. They have like Dia de los Muertos. We even got a photo here with Dia de los Muertos.
A painting, that's awesome. Did you make that?
No.
You gotta put that.
Who painted that? Maybe
Yeah, I'll put it on
maybe you put it this way and we can show it on the next.
next segment. What's that?
Awesome.
Anyway, they're gonna have a procession with I guess
Costumes and
like
things
the costume. But it starts at 10 in the morning till 5 p.m. It's free at the Desert Botanical Gardens in Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
It's I guess they have it yearly. It's called Dia de los Muertos, and so anybody out there who would like to go, it's free. And we take the kids. They have face painting. We have them in mariachis. I guess our mariachis are going to play.
We only have one.
We have one here, so I guess the rest of them are at the Dia de los Muertos.
Way to go.
We have yesterday's guest on our AM show was Dino, talking about Greek and the financial situation in Greece,
Okay.
and what he's experienced. He just came back from Greece. And
I was visiting relatives.
See, okay, relatives. Okay.
yeah, he goes,
Wow.
I think once a year, right?
Not once a year, every couple years or so. I go.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I thought it was once a year. And you were, I mean, it was pretty tough what you were relating about what the people are going through.
Yes, yeah. It's tough there. But they're, like I said, they're trying to go day by day and try to, lead as much, just cope with it. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, because I know most of you got the poorer neighborhoods and you got the less poor neighborhoods.
Well, I mean, yes, you always have that everywhere, but
Right.
What I was saying yesterday is that you don't notice it as much when you when you go around the areas where it's heavy pedestrian traffic, just like any. So, like I said, the Thessaloniki is named the city. It's the second largest city in Greece, and it's a port city. So just like any city, wherever the real estate is the highest demand, just like San Diego, the oceanfront, same thing there. So you have the tourist sites there, you have the businesses there. So you don't see it as much there. Once you step outside of that area, then you start seeing the heavy impact of it in the more distant neighborhoods.
Just like everything, more than anything, maybe on our next segment we'll talk a little bit more about it. But
Okay,
George?
we have we're going to go to a break, but then when we come back, we're going to continue this topic, and then in the next segment we'll bring in Lance to talk about his organization that he's with, Vets to Work US, nonprofit organization, and I really want to hear more about that. I was just talking to my son called us from Texas just a little while ago, and I was telling him we were going to have him on the show, and he said that was really good. So we'll be right back. And we'll be back with the Chips and Salsa show.
Alrighty.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. It's kind of hard because you can't.
I don't know. Yeah. I thought he was going to start.
I thought this segment was just to introduce, and
Yeah,
then you go
I was
into.
a little. I was like, yeah.
So you just came back from Greece?
Yeah, I just came back a couple of
months ago.
Yeah.
I was stationed in Turkey for 2 years, and I went to Greece about half a dozen times. This was back in the mid-'80s, and
Things were good then.
it was still back when they had the drachma, and even though the dollar was quite strong, the Greek economy seemed to do quite well at that time.
At that time,
Yeah, no, I have a good friend of mine who just.
You might have to hold it up, George.
You know, I mean, well, what do we only see?
Is it already recording? So when you come back,
Like everything, very seldom.
oh, it's still
People
recording.
venture out, and only if your family, have family who's from there, you
Okay.
can see the difference,
That's my
right?
point. Yeah.
And,
Biggie.
I just thought that
You
was
see it, George?
the same thing too. I mean,
Do you see it?
in Nayarit, which is
No, I don't have one.
beautiful. It's about 2 hours away from Puerto Vallarta.
So I guess
It's beautiful.
I don't know. Some girl and my brother knows.
Tropical, it's a lot of vegetation. Very
It's
few
scary.
areas
That's why I
that
kept it over there.
at the time, you know, like for time or anything, it's not.
I mean, it still looks scary. Put it right.
So you can bring it in and
Oh, camera not available.
Their
Not
names,
stuff
Lance
on.
and
Lance with
Dino.
So this one was yours.
Now what? I'm gonna
Listen, in my mind, this show, you gotta just go for it, alright? And if you feel the need, just kind of voice out and interrupt and say, George, no sabes lo que hablas, you know?
It's like
just
family,
improvise, you know? Alright,
Go
so
ahead.
Lance,
Put that back.
and you said,
You got it on
Dino,
camera. So
Aliados.
yeah, look at that Halloween shirt.
Yeah.
What did I say? Spirit of Halloween. See how orange you got.
So you have
Another pair of headphones.
yeah.
Yeah.
George,
Let
what
me.
do you have on your?
I got something.
Yeah. So that way we can
This
hear.
one, yeah, this ain't working, but I got earbuds. I'll use these.
Yeah, that'll help. Just so he can know. So he's probably like, what's going on? No, I'm not. No.
Okay, stand by. We're going back in.
Hand him to him. Hola, hola. How are we doing, everyone? Thank you. Welcome. And we're back to the Chips and Salsa show with Jorge El Alacran, George.
Hola.
And we have two guests here, Lance Whitford and Dino Eliades. And we'll be chatting a little bit more about it. I know that he was, the first segment, he was talking to us about his visit to Greece.
That's correct.
And if you don't mind just kind of sharing that. I know that George was mentioning the difference, you know, as a tourist that you know, when you go there and everyone goes and sees the beautiful coastal areas and what have you. But aside from that, share with us what you see on on a daily basis with family and friends, and what difference is it from here? You know, I mean, what maybe immigration issues what's going on? I mean, I don't know what you see back there, but just kind of share with us a little bit.
Sure. At the other radio show yesterday, I gave an overall view of it, of what's going on there, in order to avoid all the details this time, because I didn't give an explanation of how they got to this. But you were talking about how it looks like day to day. Like I said, in the main pedestrian thoroughway, the tourist sites, it looks fine. It's when you step outside of that, that's when you see the hardship, where you see a string of stores that are closed down, where you see, businesses gone. You see more people digging through trash and things like that. I mean, even in cities like New York, you see people begging, but it's just the amount has gone up, obviously, because it's gotten harder over there. One big difference that it's not obvious right away, like I said, especially if you're only inside the tourist spots, is that people are more apprehensive. People are more closed. In the 80s, as Lance here talked about having visited there, people were more open, more hospitable. You could greet people in the street, and that's changed now, because since situations have gotten harder and things like petty crimes have gone up, not serious crimes, but theft, some more muggings, some people taking their purses and things like that. So people are a little bit more closed. They're a little bit more afraid to be open because things have got harder and people got more desperate. So that's changed.
I was about to say that's kind of more of a desperate cry, from everyone. The society changes and the financial situation changes. So it's almost like win to survive kind of thing, right? And that's kind of experienced just about everywhere. You don't have to live in a third world country to experience that. Right?
No, yes. Other thing that's different is that so a lot of people over the years have gotten pets, dogs, and now that times are hard, they can't afford to take care of the dog, so they just let them go in the street. And they estimate now that in Greece, this is throughout Greece, that there's about 1 million stray dogs. Wow. And I've seen it. Now, they've always had stray dogs before, and they cleaned it up. Now it's just gotten worse again, actually much worse, because it's, feed my family or take care of this dog. Wow. They're going to let go of the dog. Wow. So you see more of that too.
That is so true. I did experience that in my visit to Mexico. I said, people have their dogs and their pets, and why are they out in the street? It's so true. It's either me or them, and it's a sad situation. I just had a sister just came back as well, and she's like, I didn't see that many this time. There was actually a carnival for like a dress up for dogs, and this is the first time that she was able to see that they have them as pets. They're not out in the streets, which was kind of nice. But thank you for sharing that with us. And anything else that you want to just enlighten us? What about immigration issues? Did you see any of that, or what's everyone that's coming in? Syrians and
So I saw a little bit of that. Not as much at Thessaloniki as you would see it in the islands or Athens, because they're really just passing through Greece. But it's still an issue because, actually, because of the hard times, some of them have left, because since they can't find any work there, they've gone elsewhere. Okay. But the Syrians coming in and others from the Middle East, where they usually land is 2 islands, which is Lesbos and Miletos. And they can't proceed through until they get the paperwork in order to enter Europe. But given the economic situation of Greece over there, they can't, things are moving very, very slowly. So they stay on the beach for days waiting.
Until they kind of decide, this is where I need to stay.
No, just to get the paperwork. Oh, wow. Just to get the paperwork. Now, I understand, they get restless, sleeping day after day. But the problem is that, and it's more of the young men, the older teenagers, the ones in their 20s, those, they would hold protests in the streets, for having to wait so long. And they've been damaging property over there. And it's hard to have sympathy when you start doing stuff like that. There you go. It's like, well, we can put you on the boat and send you back over to where you were being bombed every day.
Right.
So
that's kind of the mentality or the thought that you want to have. So, You know, it's what's your take on that, George? I know that we have
What's up?
Lance.
What about the migration? I mean, do people still. I mean, because when you're patriotic, you want to stay in your country and you want to make your country great again. Do you see more people wanting to leave, or people just saying, you know what, we're going to make this country great. We're gonna we're gonna turn it around.
So that's another problem that's going on with Greece, is that the young people that graduate that have the talent, the skills, since they can't find work, they leave to go elsewhere to find opportunities, and so that becomes a brain drain for the country. So it makes it harder to recover because the people that you actually need to help, provide the changes that the country needs to lift the economy, they leave. And that's not a thing you can instantly turn around. I mean, the longer that happens, the longer it takes time to recover. They don't want to leave. I mean, they want to stay there, but they don't have a choice.
Do you think they would be better off if they would have got out of the EU and the Eurozone and had to go back to the drachma and have it devalued and be able to build the economy back from scratch?
Yes, that's one thing I said yesterday is that, see, the reason why they got in this situation is years of corruption. And as you pointed out, I'm sure there's lots of corruption in Mexico as well.
Mm-hmm.
See, there's a couple things going on. You have politicians that have stole public money for decades. It's not just only since they've been in the EU. It was happening before that. And they say, well, also people are not paying their taxes, and that's part of the reason. It's like, well, when you look at politicians that are receiving multiple pensions, and you're seeing them having these nice homes and these nice cars, and they shouldn't be getting them. It's just because they're stealing from the public, and they don't get punished. That's the other thing. Just to give you an example, the previous mayor of Thessaloniki was arrested for stealing 18 million euros from the city of Thessaloniki. He was convicted initially for life, then he appealed. It went down to 12. Then, while he was in jail, he had a heart attack, and he went under operation. And they have this thing called a sympathy law. So, as of July, they released him from jail. So he only stayed 2.5 years. But and that's considered, and that's a considerable time. You have a lot of politicians that never get punished. So there's no fear of them doing this. And then the public, the people that work so hard, mainly in the private sector, giving such a big percentage of their money, they find ways to, I don't want to say cheat the system because it's their money. They find ways to not have to pay the taxes, and I don't blame them. Why should I pay all these taxes when I look at the politicians and what they're doing with their money? So you have two things going on. You have the politicians stealing money, and then you have the people the businesses avoiding the paying the taxes because they can see that their money is not being used as it should. And so when you say, should they get out of the euro? Yes, because if they keep getting that money, that machine will never stop. If they leave the euro and they don't get that money train coming in anymore, then they'll be forced to face these problems and they'll have to make changes.
Won't it hurt just for like a while, and then
it will hurt a little bit. It will hurt a lot, but it will flush the debt. They won't be able to use this billions of euros coming in as a loan to keep this system going, and people will get mad. People will get frustrated. They will have to change this. Some changes are being made in there already. Like for instance, because like you had public unions paying for their politicians to get in the office to give them special benefits. And one of the things is like early retirement for hazardous jobs. When I say hazardous jobs, I mean even like a news reporter or TV reporter speaking to a microphone, because you can get bacteria on the microphone and that can be dangerous. It's just little ridiculous things like this, and so they could retire at 50. Well, now they're phasing those out, and that's the thing you do. They say no, you can't retire at 50 anymore. This just can't happen. The other thing is like, so over there it's law you can't fire government employees. So they had a problem with people not showing up for work because that's not grounds for termination. So they would give them bonuses to show up for work. So you have people in the government office making more money than people in the private office, in the private sector, who are the people that are funding the government. So how is it that you can have a system that works when the public servants are making more money than the people in the private sector?
You know much of this, do you know? I mean, it's throughout. It's in Mexico. It's here.
It's
There's
here
no,
too,
it's
same
the
thing.
political science and all that is the same.
It's exactly the same.
So there's no difference. You know,
No.
it's a shame. So we appreciate everything that you shared with us today. We're going to continue. And thank you for standing by, guys. Everyone, gracias. Regresamos en un momento con Chips and Salsa Show.
Okay, we're gonna bring it in. I'll bring it in.
Oh, yeah.
I'll introduce you,
Sorry.
and then we'll go into your bio.
The earring drop.
I don't have a bio in there, so you
Oh, look at the ceiling, how pretty it is.
yourself.
Nice
Yeah.
And then we'll right into what you guys are doing.
Nice catch. Huh? Oh.
Okay, so we're gonna bring in Lance.
Lance.
Whitford.
Sorry.
Maybe I could do the real quick bring in One Truth.
We need One Truth coming in.
Yeah, and I'll just say a few words about them. And
I'm gonna
then,
use Inferno because it's got the nice intro.
yeah, maybe go further into the instead of the intro, maybe a little bit further into the song.
Well, the intro has it to where you can you just you talk and then they start the vocals.
Sure.
So you come in, look back to the salsa. Yeah, I'll take a listen to our sponsor. Here's One True with Inferno, and then I'll turn it back up, pot you down. Do nice singing,
And then I'll go into Lance.
and then you say that was
Inferno.
Inferno, third sponsor is 112. Now let's go up. So remember, just open up the show. Hey, we're back at Chips and Salsa. Now here's our sponsor, was One Truth with Inferno.
Just everything. She was everywhere.
Title song, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
I'm gonna try to do a commercial so that we could
Pre-record.
yeah, pre-record it so it's not
part
so.
of the Italian mafia.
Okay, and then I'll introduce you.
It's incredible how this woman.
Take it over.
I've been talking a lot about what I do, so I'm pretty well listed. You know.
Novela, which is very similar to the lifestyle that she led.
Yeah, next week we're gonna start over there. And I bet you, well, I have to do some testing with it. I gotta.
It's like, I mean, we're not gonna mess with anyone if we don't have money to pay all that stuff. You know, it's just like in everywhere in your country, my country.
That was real fun.
No one bothers you if you're not in that type of thing.
I like this.
All right, 30 seconds.
You know, so hi George, go for it.
You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. Call 800-917-1316. 800-917-1316.
All right, 5 seconds, George. Stand by.
800-917-1316.
Welcome back to welcome back to the Chips and Salsa Show. This is George and my co-host Loops, and we have a guest Dino Eliades and Lance Whitford, and this is one of our sponsors, One Truth, and you'll hear a little bit of their music now. That's One Truth. You could. They're a progressive rock group from Richmond, Virginia, and they're one of our sponsors. And you can listen to them on iTunes and go to Facebook and with JC Gonzalez and One Truth and read up a little bit about their history. And eventually they'll be out here in the West Coast, and they have slated a visit with us, JC and his manager, and they'll talk more about their show. But yeah, go to iTunes, listen to their music, you'll get hooked. Right now, I would like to introduce our guest, Lance Whitford. He is with Vets to Work. It's a veterans nonprofit organization with the mission of putting homeless and unemployed veterans to work in the local community. And I think this is a great thing that you're doing. So could you tell us a little bit about yourself and the organization that you represent?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. My name is Lance Whitford. I'm the founder and CEO of VetsToWork.us. I served 11 years in the Air Force, and when I got out of the Air Force, I had a little difficulty transitioning to the civilian workforce and some other things going on in my life, and took quite a few years, but I ended up up in Prescott at the VA up there, and I received some treatment and started working in the logistics department up there. And at the same time, I started taking classes up at Yavapai College. I took a sociology class, and my sociology professor challenged our class to go out and make a difference. And he told us that one person could make a difference. And I kind of thought about that, and I saw some things that were going on with people and how they were transitioning from both military service itself and also transitioning from treatment in the VA facilities to work in the community. And I originally started an organization in Prescott called Prescott Vets, helpingvets.org. And I raised some money and I put some people to work on some community projects. My big fundraiser at that time, I walked from the Phoenix VA hospital to the Prescott VA hospital, about 110 miles over Memorial Day weekend 2 years ago. So
how many miles was that?
About 110. So I did that over a 3-day period of time, and I had some friends that were tagging along with the vehicles and stuff to make sure I was safe and hydrated, and had a way to pop my blisters and put my shoes back on carefully and that kind of stuff. And so I did that for a little while, and then everybody's heard about the Yarnell firefighters that died, and one of the fellows I was working with at US Vets died at the same time, my friend Kurt. There was just a lot of death, and that really bummed me out, and I needed to step back for myself and take some time to make sure I didn't spiral down, and so I concentrated on my studies, and just this past May, I was thinking, well, it's time for me to get back on the horse and go do something. And I created VetsToWork.us. And what I decided to do, I didn't want to walk 110 miles again, so I figured I needed to come up with a different way to earn money to support my mission. And so what I created was my Veterans Employment 30/30 campaign, where I strove to go out and work at 30 different businesses over 30 days. And I've subsequently I've done that. I've done actually 28 of the jobs. I have one that I've been holding off. I'm trying to do something for somebody, just to help somebody out. And on Saturday, November the 7th, I'll actually have my 30th job, which is going to be over at Alexi's restaurant over on Central. And I'm going to be a host, and we're going to have a big party and celebration for me completing all the jobs. We're going to have some live music, a buffet, and just everybody that supported me in my campaign can come out. It's open to the public. Anybody can come. So that's the 30th job we're going to do. But the big thing we got going on is November the 6th to the 10th. We have Operation Serving Our Community. And that's where I'm taking all the money I earned from all the jobs that they were all a donation. And I'm hiring unemployed veterans to come out and do some community projects. And we have a big project out with the Habitat for Humanity community in Avondale. And we're going to paint a very large brick wall structure out there. We're going to have vehicles with tools and various accoutrements, and we can just take calls from the community and go out and assist somebody that needs some help. We're going to do a homeless veterans clothing drive to restock the clothing room at the Prescott VA and the US Vets, both in Prescott and Phoenix. And we're just basically going to see what we can do to help the community, and I'll put the people to work on these projects.
So where's the 30th job going to be at?
Alexi's restaurant over at 3550 North Central.
Awesome.
What's that address?
3550 North Central, and we'll be there on Saturday, November the 7th, from 5 to 10 p.m. or later if we're all having a good time.
Awesome. Now, is this a one-man band? It sounds like you're a one-man band, but it sounds amazing what you're doing, and I commend you for that.
Pretty much a one-man band. I had some help doing various other things, and of course I couldn't have done it without the support of the business community. I worked a lot of different jobs, really some big companies and some small companies and just some private individuals. They're on my website, VetsToWork.us. On the homepage, you can scroll down and there's a slideshow that'll show all the jobs I did. And there's also, it took a long time. It was really hard to get 30 jobs. It wasn't very easy. And finally, around job 20, I worked for Community Tire Pros, and the owners, Howard and Patty Fleischman over there, because they buy a lot of media, they had Fox 10 and Free TV came out and interviewed me, and I got on TV, and next thing you know, people started calling me, and it made my life a lot easier.
Yeah, because I saw that in the news. That's what I was going to mention to you, because I watch Fox News all the time, and I saw that a veteran was going to different jobs and working, and it had to be you that they were talking about.
Absolutely.
It just it was a while ago when I saw that, and yeah, that was.
And ironically, during one of those newscasts, the gal that owns Los Olivos Hand Car Wash over there at the street in McDowell, Coletta, she happened to be watching the news that morning, and she got a hold of Howard and said, "Hey, Howard, I want to talk to your veteran." And so he put me in touch with her, and I called her up. She says, "Look, Lance, I'm going to be honest with you. I was watching the news. I saw Howard. I paid attention to every word he said, but I didn't hear one word you said. But if Howard's in, I'm in. What do we got to do?" So I ended up job number 25. I went over and we washed 300-something cars over there, and it ended up being the biggest part of our fundraiser. She called me in the office and told me she wanted to give me $1 for every car that we washed out of the company money, and then $1 out of her own pocket. But she says, "We've had cars lined up there all day. What would it take to be your number one supporter?" And I told her it would take $1,001 because Crescent Crown, the beer distributor, hired me for a day and paid me $1,000. Well, she jumped up and down and hollered and screamed and kissed me and wrote a check for $1,001. And then she posted on Facebook what was going on, and one of her suppliers said, "Put me in for $250." And all of her customers had donated during the course of the day $800 more, and so it was $2,086 for the day. So I jokingly say next year we're going to do a 3 for 3, and they're all going to be car washes.
Wow.
And that's amazing, man. So I just wanted to ask you, do you have a group of vets that you're working with, that you're helping to try to get their life back together? Is that something that that's your goal? And what is the
Well, the real goal is to give people permanent jobs. 3 veterans have been hired by companies that hired me for a day already. I've lined up quite a few. I think I'm probably going to have anywhere from 15 to 20 that we're going to put on to work on the projects, and we're going to have HR people out there to coach and counsel and look at their resumes. The people that hired me for a day can come out and talk to them. Anybody in the community can come out, and hopefully a lot of these people will get jobs while we're out doing our projects. That's the overall goal.
Now, how do you use psychological meetings with the vets that have been out of work for a long time, and that to just kind of get them psychologically ready?
I basically just tell them, "Hey, here's an opportunity. I'm going to pay you to come out and work, and you're going to have an opportunity to get a job. So just do the best you can with that." And I don't have the skills to psychologically evaluate.
No, I don't mean you. But I mean,
we're going to go ahead and continue that on our last segment. So take a hold of that, and we'll continue.
Absolutely.
Thank you for staying tuned with us at Chips and Salsa Show.
What you're doing is great, and I had seen it on TV. I remember they were showing a guy who's been working so many jobs, and that's where they said that as far as
what up, Rev?
I know, I'm ready to ask all kinds of questions.
This is the Rev. Myron Jackson. He has a show after this one. It's called Revving with the Rev.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Hi there.
How you doing? I'm kind of weird, man. You look mean.
I look mean?
He's from LD 18, right? Yeah. LD 18. He's a state committee man.
So you go further back than this. What else? You in the military too?
No, I was
Oh, it looked like you was a military man. You know, you could have been a special ops or something. You know.
You might have been, but you can't talk about it.
Yeah.
He wasn't smiling too much, you know.
I had someone say they thought it looked like a PO.
He looked like one of them too.
Probation officer.
Police officer.
He'd be better than probation parole. You deal with feds.
In black ops. You don't talk about that.
They don't be shutting them down.
So you're gonna bring.
They'll lock you up.
Yeah, because I remember. Yeah. I remember seeing you on TV.
I've been on 3 TV, Fox News, and I was KNIX's Happy Headliner Today a few weeks ago. They did a nice 4-minute long interview, and we really got to talk about stuff live.
I don't know what you're doing now. Even the ones I see so many. I don't even know if they're real vets.
With a sign, right?
It said they had brought a lot back into the community.
All right, 1 minute.
Well, I recruited a bunch of people yesterday over at one of the facilities where they do house the people that were homeless. So I'm working half a dozen areas over there.
Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-639-8620. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It'll be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help.
All right, 30
Heritage
seconds.
for the Blind is a non-profit organization.
Who's bringing it? You. All right.
Call right now to donate your car. And as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now. Call 1-800-639-8620. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-639-8620.
We're just getting feedback from the microphone.
Welcome back to the Chips and Salsa show. I'm Luz Munguia. How is everyone? And here we have George El Alacran.
Hola.
And we have Gino Eliades with us, as well as Lance Whitman. We were just talking to him a little while ago. Thank you for sharing your information on helping out the homeless vets and getting them back to work. I actually have a small little something to share with you. Back, gosh, in the early 80s that I can remember, my father used to would say, why if America is such a great country, why aren't they not helping our vets? He had this sympathy for, especially the Vietnam vets that came back, and there was no one there to greet them and no one there to help them out in the situation. My father was not military, but he had definitely had a view on that and said, there's something wrong with the system here. I'm proud to say that I have a daughter who just came back from the Navy. She did her 4 years and who's now a Navy reservist and San Diego PD. So, it's so different. The military right now, they need to pay attention a little bit more on when they're letting their American heroes out, and having something, programs out there to help them. A couple of weeks ago, we had a wonderful lady who had who also has a program for American heroes and veterans who have lost their limbs and things like that, and getting them back into society. So I commend you for what you're doing, definitely. So continue sharing, what you do, and I heard your goals. So definitely keep up with your events and that nature. So let us know a little bit more as to what you got going up.
Well, I started with a simple goal. I thought I wanted to try to replicate what I did in Prescott, but on a bigger scale. And I ended up being much more successful than I anticipated. My original goal was to raise $6,500 and to be able to put 10 veterans to work for a week on the community project. Well, I'm coming close to where I'll probably raise about $9,000, and I should be able to put 15 to 20 people to work, maybe not for the whole week, but at least in the early part of the week when we're doing the big push of all the projects at one time. So again, it was the business community support of what I'm doing because they want to hire veterans. There's a lot of good people out there that want to help veterans, and there's a lot of programs for veterans. My issue is I think there's a problem with the transition process. So when people are separating from the service, what I've learned from my own personal experience and seeing people that what they're doing now is I would like to see where there's a boot camp more or less or a basic training to become a civilian at the end of your time of service. So you first go into the military, you're going to go to basic training 6, 8, 10 weeks depending on your branch of service to get trained on your job, and then you go to school for whatever your career is. Well, there should be something similar on the way out.
The reverse of
exactly. So it could be not where like what I did, where you go to work for one day at a company, but maybe you go 2 weeks here, 2 weeks here, 2 weeks here. You get an idea of what it is you want to do. You get to talk to civilian employers. You get to talk to HR people. You would be on the government dime still, so the company would have an incentive to come in and bring you in to do some stuff. And I think something like this could fly, and I think there's the business support to do it. It would just be, our government is just such a large bureaucracy. It's almost impossible to get anything started like this on,
You're right on the money. Most of our military go in without a career. right? So they go in there and helping out America and helping out their country, and they didn't go to college much. A lot of them didn't go to college, or they have no clue as to what they want to do when they come out. So that is a great way to integrate the military when they come back, and that's a great point. It's just amazing that you're doing this, and I'm happy to be part. I want to share a shout out to Alex Lara. I know that right now you're not feeling your best, but we missed you here at the show, and we'll see you in a little bit, hopefully. But continue listening to us, Alex. Let us know how we did tonight. Dino, do you have any questions for our host here, Lance, as well? Any ideas? Any questions?
So are people able to then go to your website and donate?
Actually, I'm not taking donations per se. I was going out and working for the donations,
Oh, I see.
but we do have some needs. And if somebody wanted to do something, I would figure out a way to help them to accomplish that what we're trying to do. I've raised all the money to hire the people that I wanted to do. There's a few things that like we're doing our Thank a Vet social on Saturday, November the 7th out at our Avondale project. If somebody wanted to come out and thank some veterans for their service, if they wanted to bring some food or some snacks to share with us, something like that would be really helpful. Another thing that would be really helpful is having people donate nicely used or new clothing for our clothing drive, and especially underclothing and shoes are particularly in need.
Very good. That's good to know. I'm sure we all have things in our closets. Everyone that's listening, maybe we could even put together something like that in a collection of clothes.
Where in Avondale is this going to be?
It's going to be at 12639 West Superior Street, and it's the Habitat for Humanity community out there. And there's a very large area that has a brick wall that's 6 feet high and several hundred feet long, and we're going to double coat paint that for Habitat for Humanity.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for being and listening with us tonight. Definitely, George. Go ahead. Yep.
I wanted to remind everybody that to listen to our show, they can go to www.chipsandsalsashow.com or www.centralcityradio.com and www.youtube.com. Search Sonia Salsa S, and that'll show you the YouTube filming that we do, and all the other ones. You can listen to us live, or you can podcast us on www.thechipsandsalsashow.com and go to our website, and the podcasts are there on SoundCloud. I had a question precedes me. Have you heard about vet ads? They're the ones that make our posters and everything. They hire veterans. They're the ones that they're one of our sponsors. They make all of these banners, and they hire veterans, and they put them to work as salespeople, and they've helped a few veterans. It's ran by veterans, and it's hiring veterans too.
Now, are you doing anything else to go into the community? What other programs are you getting into to integrate one of the community in general?
Well, for this particular project, the one thing that we are looking for is just somebody, could be elderly, a veteran, just anybody that needs something done. We're going to have the people and materials, and that somebody can just call us up, and we can dispatch somebody to go assist them during the 5 days that we're doing stuff. I really haven't gotten past what we're going to do afterwards. Going out and getting 30 jobs and then putting on all this is a lot of work, and I'm also looking for a chance to maybe sleep more than 4 hours one day when this is all over. So then I can rest for a day or two and then figure out what I'm going to do next.
And then hopefully you can build a little bit more than a one-man band, and definitely that your group and organization continues to grow, because it sounds like it's amazing.
Well, we've bantered around the idea of doing 60-60 next year and doing everything just twice as big. And now that I've gotten a little notoriety, getting some media attention, I think it might be a lot easier to get 60 jobs than it was this year getting 30. And get the people that hired me for one of my jobs to go out and recruit somebody else. And what I'd like to do is do it over a course of do 30 days straight a job, take a week off, and then do 30 days straight again. And rather than this time around, it's taken me about 5 months or so to do all this. So I'd like to kind of shorten the time frame.
Now, if I may ask, how are you getting these vets? Are you going to to maybe the military and finding out that they're getting out and what's going on. So do you have a list, or do you have or are you going to the streets, or how are you definitely recruiting some of your
all of those.
unemployed vets?
All of those. I've gone to some of the job fairs. I've gone out to the facilities that are where the homeless veterans are brought in and they are housed. And I just met half a dozen people yesterday at one of those locations. I've actually went out to the Vets on Patrol location and talked to them. And I think I got a guy out there that I'm going to put to work. I've connected with people on LinkedIn. I've connected with people on Facebook. I've connected with people that I just randomly met on the street. So I've whatever I can to meet people. That's how it's come about. And I didn't have a plan and say this is how I'm going to do it. I just started doing it and just started meeting with people, and it just kind of snowballed.
Okay, so maybe in the next segment you're able to answer. I have another question. How are they integrating older vets that have been in the streets for a long time, especially drug use and what have you? So do you have an agenda? Do you have a plan that you have for them that have been longer in the streets that, maybe drug is an issue? I just kind of want to hear your take on that, and maybe you can share with us in the next segment. But stay tuned, everyone. This is Loops Munguia here with George El Alcran and Dino Eliades, and also with Lance Whitford. We'll be right back from the Chips and Salsa show.
Okay, we're going to go into the last segment, and it's 7 minutes.
Yeah, it's like an hour. You think, oh God, it's an hour. It's just like 15 minutes.
Yeah, I thought you thought it was near the end.
No.
And that's why I
was like,
wanted to bring in Vinny.
Right, I actually.
And I looked down and go, no, we still have one more segment. But I'll bring in this last one, and I'll promo KFNX Fridays at 8 p.m. We're not going to do the healthy Hispanic.
I actually did a Christmas program over at KFNX.
You got to start
It's kind of
the
interesting
close
because
music at
we did one where
6:59.
it's before
Yeah,
Thanksgiving
58.
and then the other one's like so far in advance. We're talking about something that supposedly already took place, but it hasn't happened yet. I'm like, it's not as easy.
It's not.
Well, I noticed a lot of soldiers go in there and they just learn ordnance, how to fight ordnance. They'll get really good at it, but there's no guarantee.
On that particular show,
So
exactly.
that's like,
So,
okay,
Yeah.
right?
He was an expert at shooting.
George is good at that.
George is good at that.
Shooting.
Okay.
He had it down to a science, but he got out here. He didn't know his job skills. There was no
right.
job skills.
There's not a whole lot of people shooting ordnance around here.
And he was good, but
It's such a touchy subject. It's such a big issue, the military, the vets, their
And
lifestyle.
it's a very complicated issue, and like it's really something trying to do something like this is very difficult.
PTSD, you hadn't even seen that. You were like, wondering what's up with this guy? All these things that they're dealing with on a daily basis.
yeah, like I worked with a guy, and like I was telling you, all he was in the army
All right, 1 minute.
was shooting ordnance. And, he was an expert at it, but out here, there's no jobs for that. So,
The nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information. They have obviously researched every place, not just
You ready to George?
They found a place for what she can
30 seconds.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way. So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call a place for
Bring
mom.
it in.
This is a free service. And
Yeah,
you can
with your whistle, George.
you want to sneeze? Okay, yeah.
You know when you want me to?
Okay.
All right, 5 seconds. Stand by.
800-471-5173.
like, okay, so I'm really confused because like my dad's Latino and my mom is white. So does that mean I can only listen to like half of Chips and Salsa?
It's the smartest thing I've ever heard anyone say about anything.
Welcome back to the Chips and Salsa show, and I'm Jorge El Alacran, and I have Loops, my co-host,
Hola, ¿cómo estamos? Gracias.
and our guest host is Lance Whitford and Dino
Eliades.
Eliades. I have so much trouble pronouncing that last name. And it sounds Spanish. Eliades. I mean, you could actually, it sounds Latino. A lot of Greek words are kind of like Latino words.
Very, very.
And,
Actually,
We
what
have the
you're
same
gonna-
vowels.
Same
Yeah.
vowels.
So you know what? There you go. I like that reply. We're all Latinos. You don't have to be a Mexican to have it. To have a Latino last name, right? Right, Dino?
But even the French, some of the French words are like
Absolutely.
montique, it means mountain, and it's like in Spanish is montaña.
Montaña.
Yeah. And what is it in Greek? Mountain.
Mountain?
Yeah.
Vuno.
Oh,
Totally
it's different.
different.
Yeah, it's totally different. I thought he was going to come up with a or something, with an M. Anyway, Lance, you have a few closing words that you want to inspire. We were talking about some people that come from go into the service and they do really good. They're ordnance fire. They shoot the mortars and stuff, and they become experts at it. But then when they come out, even if they serve 15 years, 10 years, they have no skills unless they took special classes in there for other things. Those are the kind of people that I would see run into a quagmire out here that I can't get a job. I'm good at ordnance, but
Well, it's really more complicated than that. People are all different. So you have some people, they're going to succeed and be superstars no matter what they do in life. You have other people that maybe don't have quite the skills and they need some help along the way. So the idea is to find the people that need help along the way, try to navigate them through to the proper resources to get that help, and they have to be motivated on their own to seek help and to want to improve their life. So there's some people that no matter what you do, I've had a couple of people that I've been able to arrange a job on a silver platter for them, and they weren't able to go and start work. So it's really sad that there's some people that are like that, but then there's other people that'll do anything they can, and some people just need that hand up. Some people don't need anything, and they'll go out and do what
yeah,
anything
because
it takes.
I've seen people like you say, you show them a job, it could be a window washer, and they become the best window washer out there, and they watch what the other guy does is better than them, and they become better than them, and they go into management and stuff. Those are the ones that it's built in. Because you can be a street sweeper and be the best street sweeper. You can be a mechanic and turn out to be the best mechanic, and not just a mediocre mechanic, but you want to learn more. You go to junior college at night, you take extra courses, you read books, go online, and you become really good at it, and you show up. The guys have been doing it for 5 or 6 years.
And part of the thing that I'm doing with the community projects we're going to do is show that the person can come to work on time. They're going to come out to work. They're going to look appropriately. They're going to act appropriately. They're going to talk appropriately. So the businesses that come out to want to see what we're doing out there, they're going to say, oh, there's a very good looking employee right there. I want to go talk to that person. Now, obviously, the population of people that I'm picking from, I want to try to pick, some here, and some here. I don't want to just try to get one population of people that I'm trying to help. I want to broaden that to as many people as possible. So there's going to be a couple of people that aren't going to cut it. There's going to be some other people that are superstars that they'll probably get hired. They could get hired the first day if somebody came out and saw what they're doing.
You know what? I mean, if you want to just sitting here, the fact is that we have a lot of people that have, some psychological issues, and then, like we shared a little while ago, PTSD is something that's very, very severe, and it comes in different levels, and it attacks an individual emotionally and physically and all that, and so that can also be a deterrent for them to broaden their mind, broaden their career, or maybe they don't want hand-me-downs, or they would look at it that way, right? And so it's really hard because they may not have the psychological evaluation, the training, and that goes from there. So it's important that that's being looked at, because some of them kind of filter through the how do you say, the radar that way, and they come out and they don't have the social skills, they don't have the mental skills to adapt, especially if they've been on the long haul, and they've seen a lot and what have you. So having said that, are you running with issues? I know that you said some don't cut it, but what else do you see challenging for those guys?
Again, it's a wide range of everything you just mentioned, and I'm not equipped my skills are not for that. There's professional people that they can get help, and my idea is that I come across somebody and I see that they're in need of some of those services. I will try to see that they get
resources.
I can see, get them to the proper resources. My focus right now is basically trying to find people that are really willing and wanting work, and I can put them to work for a few days and give them an opportunity to be seen by some companies and some individuals that may be able to offer them a job. So I'm one guy. I can only do so much, and I wish I could do more, and I wish I had unlimited resources and all the skills that it would take to do something like that. But I have to kind of focus my attention on what I can actually do.
Well, Lance, we really appreciate you coming out and letting the public know and us know more about what you're doing. I think what you're doing is great. We need the vets. We need to help the vets as much as we can. They're suffering in the VA hospitals and stuff. They're not getting the care that they need, and to top it off, they can't get the jobs that they need. And you're stepping forward, and I mean, you're giving your all to help a lot of veterans, which is, we thank you 100%. I know the veterans thank you. My son's in the Army, and her daughter was in the military. My granddaughter's in the Coast Guard. And I know other people have family members that have been in the armed forces, and we thank the armed forces for everything they do, and they need all our help. So thank you very much for your coming on our program. Thank you, Dino, for your insight into the Greek financial situation and the life in Greece, because a lot of people don't know because we can't experience it. Thanks again. Be sure to listen to our program on Fridays on KFNX, 8 p.m. on 1100 a.m. Then listen to us the next day, Saturday, here at Central City Radio on centralcityradio.com and on, like I said, our Chips and Salsa website. And again, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Gracias. Thank you, Dino. Thank you.